Greetings to my hardworking, melanated, and Spelman-educated sisters of the class of 2022. Who would have thought that we would be sitting here today preparing to walk across the stage? It seems just like yesterday that we were having dorm wars and everyone was losing to Manly Hall. Spelman has been quite the journey. For many of us, not knowing how we were going to get here, how we were going to afford it, how we were going to make friends, or simply how we were going to sustain ourselves in this space. The fear of the unknown, this uncertainty that comes with taking risks, it allows for self-doubt to settle in. It allows for imposter syndrome to come in and make us feel like we are inadequate, like we are unworthy, like we don't belong here. It makes us question whether or not we can actually do what we were called to do. You know, maybe you are an ambitious first-generation college student who had to figure out how to navigate this space on your own. Maybe you are a dynamic creative who comes from a more traditional family who doesn't understand what it means to be a creative. Maybe you had a sibling who previously attended Spelman and their light shines so bright that it's been so hard for you to pave your own path and be who you were meant to be. Maybe you come from such an established and esteemed family that you are terrified of making a mistake. Maybe people doubted you when you said that you were going to graduate from the #1 HBCU because God had not blessed them with a vision that was purposefully and divinely intended for you. Maybe you come from a family where you didn't have that much support, or you've had to depend on yourself for everything. Maybe you didn't get to Spelman right away, and maybe you were waitlisted. Maybe you're a transfer student who struggled with finding your way through Spelman. Maybe you're an international student who took a jump and came over here all by yourself. Maybe you have a child and doubted if you would finish college. Maybe you are a student who decided to return back to school when you realized that you could make a choice to change the world. Maybe you struggle with your identity because you've been in spaces where majority of the people did not look like you, so your true natural self may not have been accepted. Maybe you're insecure about how you talk, how you walk, how you dress. Maybe you were rich, maybe you were poor. Maybe you're graduating summa cum laude or thank you, Lottie. I don't know what your story is, but there is something I do know. If Spelman hasn't taught us anything, is that we know that regardless of where you come from, you are more than whatever your circumstances were. And you are living proof because you are sitting in here right now. You defied the odds and beat the pandemic. Yes. So, let me tell you the type of women Spelman produces. Trailblazers, radical revolutionaries, spunky and audacious go-getters, women who have mastered the ability to party all weekend and still show up and dominate in the class on Monday. Strong-minded and strong-willed women who are unwavering and relentless when it comes to achieving their goals. Women who can wait to the last possible minute to do assignment and still ace it. Women who can clearly be wrongfully cheated and yet still have the courage to run for governor as many times as it takes. Yes. Women who are confidently and proudly Black, who have no problem taking up space. See, everything is about perspective. Everything you've experienced at Spelman, every challenge, every obstacle, every trial, every tribulation has required you to adapt. And through every adaptation, you grew into the Spelman woman I just described. So as we go on to this next stage in life, this is my charge to you. Channel your inner Spelmanite. Whenever you're in a space with predominantly white people and you feel insecurity seeping through the cracks, ask yourself, what would a Spelmanite do? Whenever you're in your grad program thinking, Lord have mercy, I cannot do this, ask yourself, what would a Spelmanite do? Whenever you are in the face of adversity, and trials and tribulations, ask yourself, what would a Spelmanite do? See, Spelman is more than just an image. It's a lifestyle. It's a character trait. It's a mentality. So as I end my speech today, there are two things I want to leave you with. First, I want to take a moment to honor our sisters who have transferred out or otherwise could not be with us here today. I want you to know that you are not forgotten, you are loved, you are supported, and remember, life is a marathon and not a race. Regardless of your current circumstances, you all will forever be a part of this moment, our legacy, and the Spelman class of 2022. Lastly, if you're anything like me, it feels weird to celebrate yourself, right? We always thank everyone else first for molding us into the women we are today. But I think that we've been a little too humble to say that we're graduating from the #1 HBCU for how many consecutive years? Right now, this moment is about us because we earned it. So, my sisters, please rise and repeat after me. As the infamous Snoop Dogg once said, I want to thank me for believing in myself. I want to thank me for doing all this hard work. I want to thank me for having no days off. I want to thank me for never quitting. I want to thank me for trying to always do more right than wrong. I want to thank me for just being me at all times. State your first and last name. You are that girl. Godspeed, y'all.